Before these words begin, understand what they are. What you are about to hear is not commentary about God. It is what I hear the Spirit placing on my heart for you in this moment. The person who said these things about God is not from the outside. You should hear these words from the person who made you before you had a name. Because now is the time to know what is already moving toward you. Picked. Don't use sit down as a figure of speech. Don't move right now. Just let your body settle down. Do not hold yourself up. Sit with your hands open on whatever you're sitting on, so that you can't understand what I'm about to say while your body or mind is moving. You can't stop what's coming at you. It's only possible to receive. To receive, you need to be in a position that the world has been training you out of for years. Okay, now you should sit down and pay attention to what I have to say. You have had something on you for a long time. It's not just the weight of hard times, though those have been real, heavy, and specific. It has been heavy on you because you don't know if any of it meant anything. The weight of being true in silence. Many prayers were said in rooms that didn't seem to have anyone in them. The weight of mornings when you chose to keep going, even though nothing around you told you to. I've seen all of those mornings. Everybody, please pay attention to what I say. All of them were used up. You're not supposed to be here. You got this message, these words, and this exact moment in your life because of something bigger than chance. And before this is over, you will not only know what is coming your way, but also why all the hard times you've been through were worth it. Because what's going to happen to you is not a small thing. It's not a half measure. It's not something that you can handle, is comfortable, or fits easily into your current life. Right now, something huge is moving toward you, and you'll need both hands open to hold it. There is something you know that has been building up slowly at first, and then with a quiet urgency that doesn't quite match what your circumstances are telling you. A feeling that something is close by, or that something has changed in the air around you that your mind can't fully explain, but your spirit has already confirmed. It has been hard for you to find the right words, trying to figure out if the way you feel is real faith or just wishful thinking. Now is the time for me to answer. What you have been feeling is neither wishful thinking nor a false belief. What you've been feeling is an early warning sign of what's to come. Changes in the air right before it rains. The strange quiet that comes over the room just before someone important walks in. That is what you've been feeling, and you've been right about it. Some of you have noticed that the way you pray has changed. You didn't ask for things like you used to. Some part of you stopped arguing with heaven and began to rest in it. That shift wasn't planned by you. It happened to you slowly and not because you chose to. And when it did, you wondered if you had given up, if your faith had become weak, or if you were just too tired to ask any more. I want you to let go of your fear right now. What happened in your prayer time is not being worn out. It has arrived. During the same season, you stopped trying hard in prayer. In order to get ready, I started moving. There is no chance in those two events. They work together. You can't get what your hands are clenched around. There is no difference between an open and a closed hand. The hand that is open is the one that gets things. Some of you have pulled away from people this season, not because you are angry or proud, but because you have a quiet inner voice telling you that the room you are going into next doesn't need the same crowd that has been around you. You've felt bad about pulling back. You have asked yourself things. You asked if there was something wrong with you, and if you were isolating yourself in a bad way. You're fine. You were being set apart. Being alone is not the same as being set apart. One is not feeling like you belong. The other is getting ready for a different kind of belonging. You will find a group of people whose frequency matches the season you are entering, not the one you are leaving. On the other side of the separation, pulling away was not the same as cutting ties. It was finding your way. If your spirit just agreed with what I said, type 777. The person who planned for you to pull away wants you to know that it was done on purpose and that it is almost over. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site, you are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today, join our community, and see what God brings back into your life. Some of you are feeling what seems like a contradiction, a deep piece of grief that isn't fully connected to anything in particular. You miss the way your life was before. It was known to be good, not because it was always good. There is sadness in every ending, even the good ones. Yes, even the ones you asked for. I don't play that down. I respect it. But here's what it means to feel both peace and grief at the same time. What's ending isn't your story. The chapter that was too short for what I wrote next is coming to an end. The grief is like the book coming to an end, and the new chapter is not an update to the old one. The story is very different and takes place on a very different level. This season has been marked for some of you by strange dreams. They shouldn't be scary. They should be holy. Dreams in which you heard or saw something that you couldn't get out of your head and carried with you for days, not being able to fully explain or dismiss. You didn't want to talk about them because you didn't want to seem weird or dramatic. Do not ignore them. I talk to the people. I'm getting ready for the morning seasons at night. Your dreams aren't just your mind making up stories to make itself feel better. These are briefings. Before it comes true, you are being shown a sketch of what is to come. There's also this. Most of you listening right now have spent so much time waiting that it's become a part of who you are. You haven't been outside of it for so long that you don't know who you are. Having to wait is now your address. Part of what is going to change is not just what shows up. When it comes, it makes you who you are. Because the time I spent waiting wasn't just spent building up to you. It had to do with what I was making you. That's the part I want to show you now. This is not a random group of signs that I'm talking about. I want you to be kind in how you interpret this. I'm calling out a pattern, getting away from things that don't fit anymore. The change in prayer, the holy dreams, the sadness without a clear target, the strange peace that doesn't make sense, the feeling of being close that has been getting stronger. Everything points to the same truth. This is the start of the most important season you have ever lived through. And I sent you this message so you would know about it before it comes, not after. You have been hearing for a while. You're still here. That's not a small thing. People who should see this message don't scroll past it. They stay, and you already know why you're still here. One thing in particular I want to talk about is how we sense being close. A lot of you have been feeling stuck between two feelings that are at odds with each other. The first is having a feeling that something important is about to happen, that a big change is about to happen in your life. The second is being tired from feeling that way before, and then seeing months or years go by without the thought of that moment coming back. Thoughts of hope have hurt you in the past. The sensing is now paired with a safety layer that tells you not to make it mean too much in case it doesn't come. I want to talk to that protective doubt with love. The feelings of closeness you had before that didn't lead to what you thought they would were not false. They were real. What you got did not look at all like what you were expecting. You were able to correctly sense movement and figure out what it meant by using the grid of what you were picturing. Though it's not louder or more dramatic this time, the feeling is different. It's calmer and more like knowing than hoping. It's clear that the holiday season is almost here when you feel that quiet certainty. Some of you have felt like something invisible has been helping you over the past few weeks or months. In addition to the emotional sense of being cared for, you should also feel like plans are being made, pieces are being moved, and your name is being called in places you haven't been invited yet. In that sense, you're right. In the unseen part of your life right now, your spirit is getting information about what is really going on. That's not how you're getting into this season. You were dragged into it. The outside of your life hasn't caught up to what's going on inside yet. The people around you don't see any changes. There is movement inside you, though, that you can't see yet. A weight that doesn't hurt or feel like a burden. It's not that I'm slow, that the outside hasn't caught up to the inside yet. It's because I'm careful. Things I'm putting together for you can't be rushed, or they will break. That person has to be a certain size before they can receive the blessing. And the process that makes them that size takes time. Right now, I'm telling you that the process is almost done. The shape is almost complete. Finally, when it's over, what was planned for you will be given to you. Whatever big thing comes into your life, it will, and you will understand something you can't fully understand now. It will become clear to you that the reason it is so big is not just because of what's coming. It is huge because the person who gets has been made big enough to hold it without breaking. There is a match between the blessing and the carrier. I didn't send this to you right away, because I wanted you to be the one who could effectively handle it without getting lost in it. You've turned into that person. The name of the woman was Mary. From what we could see, she was young and normal. There was nothing about her situation that made it seem like she had been chosen for the job she was about to be given. She didn't have any official credentials, a position of power, or any proof that the job she was about to get made sense from a human point of view. Then, out of the blue, a message came through, with no warning, no time to prepare, and no physical evidence to base her answer on. There was no negotiation, no contract with conditions, and no detailed plan with backups and ways out. There was only an announcement. You have found favor. You are going to carry something that has never been carried before. And her answer, the answer that changed everything, wasn't a question about her skills. There was no need for more time to get ready. That one word was the most powerful and simple in the language of faith. Let it happen the way you said it would. By giving up control and giving in, that one act of surrender, the impossible began to take shape inside her. And I want you to understand something very important about how that story goes. The getting ready didn't happen before the announcement. The preparations were made because of the news. The favor set off the formation. She wasn't trained first and then hired. She was hired first, and then the shaping happened. This is the order in which I work. It will bother the part of you that has been trying to get ready by cleaning up your life before asking for the assignment. You need to be ready before you expect the word. That's not the right order. What's coming your way was planned before you were even qualified for it. And the qualifying has been going on during the calling, not before it. This is not what you will achieve that I have been shaping in you. It happened because you gave in. When you gave up instead of forcing, when you stayed in the room that didn't offer any clear benefits, and when you prayed instead of trying to change things yourself. Those were not acts of discipline. They were times of shaping, the kind that doesn't make a noise while it's happening. The kind that you can only see when something big shows up to show that what you built was real. I want to tell you what was being built during each hard season, because I think you should know what the trouble was for. During times when you felt alone, I was building your rootedness, the ability to be rooted in something more than just a group of people or a person. That you won't need the people of your next season too much when they come. You will get them for free. During the times of rejection, I was building your discernment, the skill to tell the difference between what is in line with your calling and what is just comfortable and familiar. During times when money was tight, I was building your faith in provision that doesn't come from your own ability to make it. So, when plenty comes your way, you'll know it didn't come from your own hard work. And you'll hold it with open hands instead of clenched teeth. During the times when answers were late, I was building your trust in a timeline that isn't yours and doesn't need your understanding to work. Every limitation was a test bed. Every door that was shut was a classroom. The lessons were not a punishment. It was getting ready. The word in Hebrew for this process is saraf. It means to make better by fire. To use heat until everything that isn't needed is gone and only pure substance is left. The goldsmith doesn't put the gold in the fire because it's not good enough to use. Gold is put in the fire by the goldsmith because it is valuable enough to be cleaned. The hard part wasn't put in front of you because you're broken. You were put in a tough spot because what's inside you is worth the work it takes to improve it. That lie has been with you through all of your hard times. The lie that says the problem shows how weak you are. That things would go better if you were more religious, spiritual, or aligned. Get this now. The fire is not proof that I am unhappy. The fire shows that I put money into it. I don't put my fire into things I don't care about. Do not use this as a breathing exercise. Just take one real breath. One real breath. Take some time to let what was said sink in before the next layer comes. Right now, you don't need to solve anything. You don't need to think about what to do next. Just take in what is being said and let it sink in. Type, I see it. If you felt something change during this part of the message, that means your spirit understood what you just said. Now, I want to talk about something that has to do with the practical architecture of how the mind is built to take in what I say. It's not just spiritual in a general sense. This message is moving towards something more concrete. In a literal sense, it tells you how your brain was meant to work and what has stopped it from doing that. I need to name it now because it will be different after I do. There is more to what you've been sensing as the block than just spirituality. It's also a frequency. Years of striving, proving, and constant calculation have taught your brain to work in a way that blocks the neural state in which reception happens. This is not achievement or performance, but reception, the open channel. And there's something that was built 300 years ago to do just that. A sound structure that has been passed down from temple to teacher to student without interruption for 33 centuries and opens up a channel that the striving frequency has closed. If you feel like your spirit is pulling you toward this kind of restoration, there is a path set up just for you. There is a description and a comment that has been pinned below this message that say it. It is not a demand. Only love people whose spirit says yes. Before this message ends, I have more to say about this. Let's go back to the formation, because we haven't named the most important part of it yet. You are building up the specific ability to handle what is coming without being thrown off by it. This is because big things need big containers. Everything you've been through, every season, every closed door, and every delay has been part of the formation process. You're not behind. You are exactly where the formation told you to be, and the job is done. Most people don't understand this principle, which is one of the most important parts of how I provide. A lot of people think that what happens in their lives is based on what they deserved or earned. In other words, the blessing is the pay for spiritual work. And I want you to let go of that framework completely, because what's coming your way is not pay. It's not a return on your money. It doesn't match up with your work or spiritual background. What's coming is a gift, and gifts don't fit the person who receives them. A gift fits the person who gave it. Big things are coming into your life, and it's not because you earned big things. It's huge because the person giving it doesn't have any limits or ledgers to balance. Every time I give everything I have to offer. For what I can give, there is no limit that you can figure out from where you are. I want to talk about 3 convergences that are all moving toward you at the same time. It's not that convergences always happen in threes, but because these 3 streams have been getting ready at the same time and are about to meet in the middle of your life. At first, there is a relational alignment. There are already people moving toward your life who carry the frequency of your next season. They might not look like the picture you have in your head. They might not come through the channels you've been watching, but they bring something that you need to get where you're going. And you will know them by their peace, not their logic. Either a meeting is coming up or one has already happened where you said, "This is for this season." That recognition wasn't made up. That was finding your way. When someone comes into your space, pay attention to whether they bring peace or pressure. The second is when a provision channel that you haven't been watching comes on. For me, this is how I work during breakthrough seasons. I close the door you've been staring at for long enough that you have to look at something else. At that point in the shift, you can see the door I actually set up. You already have the food you need for the next season. It's already moving toward you. It's not your job to make it, create it, or negotiate for it. When it comes, your job is to be in an open position, which is how you feel more now than at any other time in a long time. The third is getting back something that was taken from you without your permission. Something you were sad about, but then came to terms with. Something you closed the book on because it hurt too much to keep it open. Remember that making peace with a loss does not mean that you accept it will always be there. Some things are taken away in one season so that I can bring them back in a better form in another. The version you lost wasn't the last one. You are getting back the version that could not have been given to the you who was there when it was first taken. It needed a bigger carrier with more experience. The restoration isn't a copy. It will be better, and it is on its way. There is one more thing I want to talk about that doesn't really belong in the blessing category. It's a better fit for the category of installation. You will start to act from a level of authority you haven't had before in the season that's about to start. Not authority based on position, not the kind that needs a platform, a title, or an institution. The power of God. The kind that only comes to people who have been through the fire and come out with real things. The kind that makes a room quiet when you walk in. It's not because you are in charge, but because every spirit in the room can feel the weight of what you carry. You are being given that authority. Now you won't know it because you feel strong. You'll know it because what you say hits deeper than you meant. That's the weight of what you've been building up through each season of the formation, coming through your voice. If you only want this message to reach one more person who is in the middle of a long silence and doesn't know it's about to end, please press the like button slowly. Let me say one more clear and grounded sentence before I show you the exact path that was set for this season. I want what comes next to land in a logical, settled part of you, instead of an emotional one that has been swirling. The ground is clear here. You've been in a season of careful formation. There was no point in waiting. The preparation is done. What's coming is the same size as what you can hold now. That's the reason. And the shape of the what I want to show you is both old and useful. After everything this message has been building up to, this is what is true. You were made to receive as well as strive. Your brain was designed to have am an open channel of reception before the world taught it otherwise. The Vedic sages spent 300 years keeping the path back to modern striving alive through a state of alpha activation. But all the constant proving, calculating, and noise blocks that state. No matter what, the suppression won't last. It can be turned around. That old path to fixing it is still there. That's the aspect of being useful. Who are you? You are the one whose shaping is done and whose hands are opening. Indian sages tuned a sound 300 years ago in temples whose stones can still be seen today. Not for celebration or performance, but just to make sure that the way was clear for what had been promised to finally come true. They knew that there was a certain state of the mind in which receiving could happen freely, and a different state in which it was completely blocked. Long before there were any modern tools to measure it. It was called the receiving channel when the state was open, and the child's posture when it was blocked. The blocked state was known as the noise of striving, and the closed fist was known as the frequency of always reaching without stopping. They also created a sound architecture that was specifically designed to get rid of the striving noise and fix the receiving channel. They kept it alive in 9 words and a certain sound structure that passed it from teacher to student and generation to generation without a break for 3,300 years. These wise men talked about the receiving channel. These days, instruments measure it as alpha activation. Today, instruments measure what they used to call striving noise as beta hyperactivity. The names from the past and the measurements from today both refer to the same thing, but they use different words to describe it. A modern listener, whose name will not be given because the tradition speaks louder than any one person, turned away from the noise of everyday striving and spent decades listening to what the Vedic tradition still had to say. The 9-word script was still whole. He found that the sound architecture was still there. He made both of them sound good to modern ears. He called it the sign of wealth. A 5-minute audio that uses the binaural sound architecture that the Vedic sages encoded along with the 9-word script that has been passed down through their lineage to turn off beta hyperactivity and turn on alpha activation. This will get rid of the striving frequency that is blocking reception and bring you back to the state that was dimmed in you, not because you failed, but because of the noise you were born into. It will be given to you if you ask. That was never a way to talk about earning. It was always a description of how someone stood. People who receive are not the ones who work harder. They are the ones whose line is free. The old way to get back to the open channel is the wealth signal. Let's go back to the child's position. The Bible talked about going back to the place where the promised things can finally happen. What the brain does with alpha. The Vedic sages saw this as the state of someone who hasn't learned to doubt that God will provide for them. The wealth signal fixes that in the most useful, fast, and easy way possible right now, in just 5 minutes. This path has been used by more than 19,500 people. People who keep going, which is more than 95% of those who start. Don't say that sudden, dramatic events were the main change. They talk about a change in the baseline, a quieter internal environment, and a shift in what starts to come in. This wasn't because they worked harder. It was because the channel through which things come in was fixed. The sign was there all the time. It was hidden by the noise. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. The normal cost is $49. It's $39 for those this message is for, along with the audio. 4 other materials are included. Materials worth more than $338 are included at no extra cost. The path is in the message's description and the comment that has been pinned below it. It's there for people whose hearts say yes. Not a requirement or a due date, but a suggestion. The kind I carefully place for a certain type of person at a certain level of risk. This one. Check the source carefully before you access anything from the description. What was written here is exactly what the legal path leads to. Wherever real paths exist, there are copies of them. Don't let confusion take your attention away from what was put there just for you. The real door is shown in the description and the comment that was pinned. Those are the only 2 places. People who were moved by what was said can come in at any time. The door will stay open. There is still more to receive here for everyone who is reading this message. Now I need to name something that most of the chosen people here at this threshold think about all the time. It's not an outside spiritual enemy. There is an internal pattern that has been there for you through every hard time and could now be the only thing stopping you from the big thing. The word for it is unworthiness, not the loud kind used in plays, the calm type, the kind where you say yes, but your heart doesn't quite agree. It shows up when you downplay things, try to explain away signs that point to the truth, or tell yourself that you are probably reading too much into things, as an automatic inability to fully take in a blessing or a promise from God without making a note it right away. Being the one who serves makes you feel better than the one who receives, and you almost always avoid anything that makes you look like someone worth the full measure of the promise. This pattern didn't just appear out of thin air. At some point in your life, it was dangerous to need something. Wanting was not wanted. People who took up too much space were punished or ignored based on their size. It learned to stay small in the presence of your blessing, even though its job is to protect you above all else, so that neither the blessing coming nor not coming could break you. But that safety measure has done its job. It's no longer a shield. It's the only thing standing in the way, so please remove it. Not all at once, but just enough. Just enough to let something huge land, without you having to make a reason right away. It most likely doesn't mean what it says. It is okay for you to receive. You can live out the whole life that was planned for you before you were given a name. You can be the one who finds the blessing as well as the one who gives them to others. You don't have to add the quiet asterisk if you say yes to the promise. If you think the word was specific enough to include you, that's fine. Stop putting yourself down in order to feel safer about your situation. You are bigger than your calling. You can grow past the smallness that the hard seasons taught you as a way to stay alive. That being small helped you back then. Your small size won't help you in what's coming, and you don't have to give it a permanent place in your life. Type, I receive, if you just agreed to let go of the protection. That should be the first thing that opens the door. One more thing needs to be done before this ends. Something about who you are as a person, not as a performance or a set of circumstances, but as a task. You bring light into places that have forgotten what it's like to have light. And just being there changes what was dark without you doing anything to make it happen. You've known this all your life, but you've never used proper language to say it. The way you leave a conversation is different from how you found it. People don't see what they can do until you show them. People don't have traits like that. That is a function, a specific function that was given. That's why some people look for you when things are really tough, even if they can't explain why. You are the voice that says what other people are feeling but can't put into words. When you're at your most open and honest, there are things you say that make the people around you feel something. These things can be grief, hope, or confusion that didn't have words before. That's not a lucky way to say it. That has to do with assignment. The reason you were given a voice wasn't to help you, but to help everyone you are supposed to reach. When you shut it down because you feel small, scared, or like you don't have enough power, the people who needed your words don't get them. Breaking the cycle is what you do. What happened in your family and the community around you over and over again stops with you. It's not because you chose to be different, but because you were put in this place in time. History, family, and geography to be the one who sees the pattern and says this is where it ends. That's not a bother. That is the honor I give. That is the most specific and well thought out. You shouldn't say these to yourself over and over until you believe them. This is a description. The task is not something you earn. You are that thing. What's coming your way isn't a reward for going through it. It is the thing that gives you the power to carry it fully. There was always a way to carry it. Before we leave, I'd like to do something with you. Stand up in your mind. No, not in the room you're in now. In the version of your life that comes after what's going to happen. See yourself there, not the version that is still waiting, but the version that has already got it. Get in that feel, what it's like to not be in the waiting room anymore. Feel the calm, open hands and eyes, and the quiet that isn't empty, but full. Take note that this copy of you still sounds and looks like you. The difference is not how they look. The difference is in the frequency, the environment inside, the lack of the striving noise, and the presence of what was there before. That version of yourself is real. I have been working toward that goal through every season you have been through. It has never been closer between where you are now and where that version of you is. Dear chosen one, I want to end this message with the thing I really wanted to say to you. Not an outline or a list of steps, but the thing itself. I see you. Not the version that gets things done for other people and keeps everything together. It's not the version that shows up when things go well. The one who is by themselves, tired and carrying something it's hard to explain to anyone else. The one that stayed true in the dark, the quiet, and the long mornings, when continuing to do so cost more than anyone will ever fully understand. Yes, that is the version I love the most. That version was seen, It was seen in every single moment. In the quiet, no one forgot about you. You were kept safe in it. No one can see the forgotten, not even the person who made them. The preserved are hidden for a season, because what is being built inside them needs to be kept out of the open until it's ready. Your anonymity kept you safe. Your waiting was building. The building is now complete. Now I speak over you, not because you deserve it, but because this word belongs to you. And now is the time for you to receive it. You were made for this moment, not a different one, not one that is easier or has more resources. You were made for this exact moment, with the specific history you carry and the specific things you have held, prayed over, and refused to give up. Things that are going to happen were planned to happen, with this exact combination of people, and at this exact time and place. It's not too late. You're not behind. You're just in time for something that needs the exact version of you that you are now. Give back what was taken from you without your permission. Let go of the weight you've been carrying for years in public silence. Let go of the closed doors that have built up. Let go of the sadness of the almost big step forward. The door was almost open. The season that was supposed to be the entrance turned out to be a waiting room. Let go of everything, give it up. Not because it didn't matter, but because you can't hold on to the past and receive the future at the same time. The hands that have what was can't also hold what is going to happen. What was taken from you during the times you don't want to remember is coming back to you. For every year of confusion that felt like taking away from your life, it wasn't taking away. It was a purchase. And the returns on investments will go up. The way you have been keeping track of your life does not match up with how it really is. For me, the time you thought was lost was actually time spent making plans. There is no loss of formation time. In the whole course of a calling, this is the most productive time. You are not someone who went through hard times and came out weaker. You are someone who went through hard times and came out stronger, more capable, more rooted, and better prepared for the job than any version of you that came in without the formation. That's what I made you. That's what you are. Plus, the huge thing coming at you was made to fit you just the way you are now. Press. I am ready with everything in you. You and the person who made you, kept you alive, and has been building you up for your next season with the same care that was used to make you before you took your first breath, should agree to that statement. Now be quiet and let what was said sink in. You can feel it move from the top of You're hearing to the parts of you that have been waiting to believe again. You're not going to leave this message alone. Someone said something over you that can't be taken back. You were named something that you can't take back. During this time, something changed in you that your circumstances haven't caught up with yet. However, just one more thing before you leave. You didn't stay the whole time because you didn't have anything else to do. Some part of you knew that this was definitely yours, so you stayed. I want to respect that. This message may have confirmed something you've been feeling, given words to a grief or hope you've been carrying without words, or brought peace to something that was upsetting. If it did, let your like be your agreement, not for anyone or anything else, but for yourself, that you received what was put here for you. Stay in touch. If you want to get more of this kind of word as the seasons change, more words are being written to get ready for what's next. The things that were said here are just the beginning. They're not the end. Many people were moved by what was shared about restoring the frequency of reception about the 300-year Vedic tradition and the modern path that grew out of it. The door is in the description and the comment that was pinned. It's there. It doesn't run out. The right time is when your spirit tells you so in a quiet moment. One more thing before you go. If you thought of someone today while you were listening, someone who has been unusually quiet lately, someone who has been avoiding everyone and can't say why, you can tell that something bigger is going on beneath the surface of someone who seems stable at first glance. Send them this text. Send it any way you can, because this message could be the one that tells them what they're going through is not punishment. They are getting ready, and they are almost done. At the same time, the big thing is moving toward them. That's what they deserve to hear. You haven't left a message. You're ending a season. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit Community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny. fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall. Share your heart. And as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now, join the family, and see your heavens open. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment, a place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.